Okay, now let's configure our domain controller, and we are gonna configure some policies, create some users, and just take a general look at Active Directory. So on your domain controller, go ahead and log in. Remember that this is a funky password that we set up with a capital P, @ $, lowercase w, 0, RD, and exclamation. This should be your administrator password. So from here we are brought again to this server manager. See, this is our server manager dashboard. Now let's go ahead and click on tools up here, and we are gonna select Active Directory users and computers. So go ahead and select that, and if we click into this hacker.local, which is our domain, you can see here a bunch of different OUs. These are all organizational units. Now we have got built-in. Double click on that. We have got a bunch of built-in security groups here. We have computers. If any computers are joined to the domain, they will show up here. We have got our domain controller, which is Vigilant DC, and we have got other things also. We have got managed service accounts, which is empty right now, foreign security principles, which are also empty. Okay, and then go to users, click on users. Now you see there's 2 users and a bunch of security groups right here. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna just right click on our domain. Okay, go to new, and we are going to create a organizational unit. We will call it group. Okay, we can call it anything you want, but group is much better, because we are going to move the security groups from user organizational to the groups organizational unit. Okay, so click OK. Now go to users again and move these security groups to groups. Now just click yes. Also these 5261, move it to groups. Now you see there's a clean, elegant users organizational unit. Now note this little down arrow next to the guest. If you see a down arrow on an account, that means that the account has been disabled. So from here we have our administrator user. We can double click on that. Now you see there are bunch of properties, descriptions, etc. We can pick what group this person is a member of. Go to member of, and you can see administrator is a member of domain admins, which means they are an administrator. Enterprise admin as well, schema admins, and domain users and group policy. Okay, group policy creator owners. Okay, so we are gonna create a couple of domain users, and we will create another domain admin as well, or 2, and just give an idea of for what these accounts are gonna look like. So first let's go ahead and just right click here. We are going to say new, and we are going to say user, and I'm gonna go ahead and first and create cyber punisher. Cyber, last name is punisher. Okay, now we gonna pick our naming convention here. So I'm just gonna say C punisher, first initial last name. Okay, first initial last name, C punisher. Now click next. Now here you have to give the password. I'm give him the same password again with P capital, password 1. Okay, P capital, password 1. Now we have to click here, password never expires, and it should be unchecked. User must change password at next login. It should be unchecked. It should be just like that. Press next and finish, and there you go. Okay, so let's create another user. I am going to right click on administrator and copy it, and here I am copying a domain admin. And so what's gonna happen, let's create another user. We will say it iron coder. Okay, we are giving it a user login of iCoder, first initial last name. Okay, press next. Now I'm going to give it a password of P capital password 2026 exclamation @ and £. It's not great by any means, but it's little bit better. Again, P capital password 123 exclamation @ and I think no sorry P capital password 2026 exclamation @ and £. Now it should be checked, password never expires, and user must change password at next login should be unchecked. Just a second, I will show you the password here again. P capital password 2026 exclamation @ and £. Okay, this one is the password I gave him. Now press next and finish. Okay, let's create 2 more users. So let's create this user here, and we are gonna right click on Cyber Punisher and copy it. And on this one I am going to give him a name of Web Slinger. User login should be W Slinger, first initial last name. Now I'm gonna give him a password of password where P is capital, password 2. Okay, password 2, P capital password 2. It should say password never expired, and user must change password at next login should be unchecked. Press next and finishes. And just to show you what's going on, let's click on this Web Slinger. Okay, click on Web Slinger and go to members. You see he is just a member of domain users because we copy the Cyber Punishers. We copy the whole Cyber Punisher. Now if we looked at Iron Coder, which we copy from administrator, double click, check member of C, it grab all the groups from the administrator because we copy from there, from administrator. So let's cancel. Now copy the Iron Coder again, and we are gonna make this a SQL Service Account, a domain okay, a SQL Service Account. Now your service account should not be domain administrator accounts, but I would say probably 50 to 60% of the time that I am doing a pen test, the service accounts are domain administrators, and I will show you why here in just a few videos, why it's bad and what we can do to attack those accounts that are domain administrators. So from here, let's just call this SQL Service, SQL Service, and we give it a name, user login name as SQL Service. Okay, SQL in uppercase, S also in uppercase, and service. Okay, press next. Now we are going to give it a password. So I am going to give it a password or something like my password 123 £. M capital, Y capital uppercase, password lowercase, and we 123 £. Okay, my capital, password lowercase, 123 pound. So if you need that one more time, I am open up a notepad and that is my password. My uppercase, password 123 and pound sign. Okay, this one is my password. Same here, password never expires should be checked and the top one should be unchecked. Press next and click on finish. So if you, okay, now you will no, just a second. Now I'm gonna open up the SQL service and go to descriptions. Okay, now you will see I'm going to write down my password here in description. Now you will see why this is bad later on, but a lot of domain administrators like to put password of their service account in the description because they think that they are the only ones that can read them. Not true. We will see how we can read this later on, but for now we will just say password is my password 123 and pound. Okay, now hit apply and okay. You see the description here, password is my password 123, and now we have a few user and we kind of got this setup, so this is good to go. Let's go ahead and do a couple of more things. Now so let's go ahead and set up a file share. So click on this down here, file and storage services. I'm going to expand it a little bit. Now we are going to click on shares right here. Click on shares. I'm going to resize it. Okay, now there's a task up here at the top. Okay, go ahead and just say new share, and then we will select SMB share quick. Click on that, press next. That's fine. C drive. Okay, that's the C drive is showing up. That's fine. And our domain controller name is also showing up, which is Vigilant DC. Now press next. Now we are going to give it a share name. So I am going to give it a name of brute me, something like that. Okay, hit next, next. We are just gonna use all the defaults. Okay, create and close this. So now we have this C shares hack me share. See, C shares and brute me. Sorry, what did I just do? Because most domain controllers have file shares and we talked about this before, but we wanted to open up 139 and 445 ports so that we have SMB enable on this domain controller. So if we were to scan against it, we would see that there is 139 445 and we can leverage some attacks against this, and we are gonna enable that on our machine as well when we are searching or having file shares on our personal user computer as well. So for now this is good, and we are going to do a couple of more things. So let's go ahead and let's open up a command prompt. Okay, so go ahead and just type command and run as administrator. Okay, and we are going to create what is called an SPN, which is called service principal name. Okay, a service principal name, and don't worry too much about that. We are doing right now. We are gonna talk about this way more than this time when the time comes. Okay, and we are going to talk about the attack related to this. We are setting up an attack for Kerberoasting, and that is an attack that attacks services. Okay, so we set up the SQL service. We are going to attack the SQL service, but we have to set up a service principal name, which we will cover a little bit later. So first, let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, so we are gonna say set SPN, then we are going to dash a, and we are going to say vigilant dash dc forward slash SQL service dot hacker dot local, and then we are going to give it a port. I am giving it a 60,111, and then hacker like this backslash and SQL service. Now set SPN dash a and vigilant DC, or whatever you named your domain controller, and then we are gonna say SQL service, or whatever you named your SQL service should be the same as mine. Then your domain dot local and port should be 60,111. It could be any port, but try to use above 55,000. Okay, and then we are going to say hacker backslash SQL service, and then hit enter. See, it's first it's saying checking the domain, then it's saying registering, and then it says updated object. Now let's make sure that it is set. So we are gonna say set SPN dash capital T hacker dot local dash capital Q wildcard forward slash wildcard, and press enter. Now see at the bottom it says vigilant DC slash forward slash SQL service dot hacker dot local port 60,011, existing SPN found. Perfect. Okay, so now we have set our users, we have set our Kerberoasting attack, we have set our SMB shares. There's one last thing we need to do. Okay, so let's close that. Now let's click on the search button in the taskbar and type group policy management, and right click and run as administrator. Expand the forest. Okay, now expand your domains, and you can see your domain here. Okay, right click on your domain and select create a GPO in this domain and link it here. Now name it disable Windows Defender. Okay, now hit enter. Now expand this hacker.local, and you see our policy here, disable Windows Defender. Now some of you are wondering why we are going to disable Windows Defender. So let's dive into it. There are many creators out there that are showing antivirus evasion and bypassing it, and I think it's great and it's important to know those topics. The reason why I'm not going into that is because it changed so significantly and rapidly. A lot of these attacks are still going to work regardless of the antivirus that you have. Most of these attacks are going to work. So what's important is to know the fundamentals of the attacks. If I show you AV evasion today, within 2 to 3 months, it's going to be obsolete. So I rather show you the foundations and the fundamentals. and then in future AV evasion and bypassing as the techniques comes up as the time changes. Remember, being in the pen testing is about sticking with the time and staying up to date. As long as you are up to date with the time, you are going to be fine. Knowing the foundations and fundamentals are more important at this stage than any antivirus evasion or crazy fun techniques like that. Now expand your domain, right click on disabled Windows Defender and click edit. Click edit. Now on the left side there is a computer configuration. Expand policies, expand administrative templates. Now Windows components. Now scroll to the bottom and here you see Windows Defender antivirus. Okay, now double click on that. Now here on the right side, turn off Windows Defender antivirus. Double click on it, select enable. Okay, apply. Okay, so now we have to go to real-time protection as well. Click on turn off real-time protection. It should be enabled. Apply. Okay, now turn off behavior monitoring. It should be enabled as well. Apply. Okay, scan all downloaded files and attachments. Disable. Apply. Okay, now go back to maps. Join Microsoft Maps. Disable it. Apply. Okay, send file samples when further analysis is required. Also disable it. Apply. Okay, now you see two more here. Windows Defender exploit guard. Check if there is any option to turn on or off. No, there is none. Go to Windows Defender home screen. There is none. Microsoft, no, there is none. So now go to your both machines. Okay, let me turn on my machines. This will take a couple of seconds. Okay, password 1, password 2. Now first of all, go to your Windows Defender, go to manage settings of antivirus, turn off tamper protection. Okay, same for the other virus and threat protection settings. Manage settings, turn off tamper protection. Now what you have to do is go to your command prompt, run as administrator, and run gp update/force. It will forcefully update the group policy without restarting your machine. Okay, it's updating the policy. Same thing here, cmd command prompt gp update/force. Hit enter. Now it says computer policy update has completely successful. Okay, now that's it for this. See you in the next videos.